Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. This is the preview of the Elder Kings 1.5 patch. This is the beta build. As of right now, I am fortunate enough to be the only person on YouTube to have early access to this build. And before we go any further, I want to extend a very warm welcome to anyone from the Elder Kings community or modding community or mod team that is watching this video, and also just thank you directly and personally for allowing me to have access to this and showcase such a fantastic mod. So, if you haven't been watching the channel update type videos, then what I have access to here is the next version of the game. Right now, the game, I believe, is on 1.4, and there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of changes since 1.4 to now. And 1.5, as far as I understand, isn't due for about another 1 to 3 months. So hopefully, over time, we will be able to experience and experiment and also provide excellent feedback to the development team for the Elder Kings mod. So, the last time we played Elder Kings, we played in, I think it was, what was it up here? Whiterun. No, it was Greymarch. We were the Thane of Greymarch, Fredegar. This time we're going to be playing, I think, as a Khajiit. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a pretty little kitty. Oh man, he's a mane. He's got a big old lion face. That looks crazy. So, what I'm thinking is that we're going to pick, say, a Duke. And the great thing about playing this beta is that, like, everything is going to change, possibly from video to video. I'm going to try to keep as up to date with them as possible. There is one unfortunate drawback, which is that occasionally changes to the game will break save files. So if that happens, we'll just have to jump to another character and pretend like it never happened, and just continue to experience all the new cool things that they've added in. So, I don't know, let's just pick a guy, and the reason I want to play as a Khajiit is because I've never really done the assassin type thing, and I don't know, it just sounds like something fun. I want to do a little bit more of a roleplay type thing. I still really want to experience all the new things that are different, but at the same time, I think the times that we've had the most fun together, as a, you know, as a person making videos and as a person watching the videos, is when we get to roleplay and just kind of play as the character. So let's say we're going to be Orcrest. We'll pick the thing that works. Is it a female or a male? It's apparently 70. It doesn't look 70. It just looks like a kitty. How old's that one? 20s. See, they look the exact same to me. But apparently, well, I guess that one looks a little bit older. I mean, you can see it around the edges of the eyes. Anyway, how about this one? 20. There we go. We'll pick that one. And we are Ja Aran Saraver of Kage. Sounds good. Let's do it. And he is the ruler just had his main, that dude. Okay, cool. Do we want to do ruler designer? Probably not. Yeah, I think I'm totally fine with this. Happy with this character. Let's just see what we get. We're good to go. So I know for a fact there are a couple things that are very, very different from the current live version of the game that you can go download right now and play if you'd like. Those changes. The first ones that I want to cover are, first off, that well, as you can see, they've increased. This was actually based on some direct feedback that I gave them. I was just idly rambling in a video and said, you know, wouldn't it be great if there was more room to actually see the decisions? And they expanded it from 4 to 6, which is surprisingly significant. I mean, it makes a huge difference. Like things like opening minor title decisions. You can see the entire list. Like it changes the way that it feels. Employment list. Like you can almost, well, there's quite a few of them on here, but it's so nice. It's very, very good. Now, the very first change we want to talk about is the spell book. So no longer do you have the mana potions that you just purchase mana with gold that's based on scaled wealth, where the larger your empire is, the more expensive it is to actually cast spells. Now, what happens is you get mana each turn, or Magicka, I apologize, Magicka, based on your learning scores. Now, I had asked about it, but it does not show in here what the exact formula is. But I know that you regain Magicka per month based on how high your learning score is. And then that Magicka is just spent to cast spells. So we will definitely be doing that, even though we are... What are we? We're a detached priest. Fantastic. We're amazing. We are zealous, so we really believe in Riddlethar. Monomythic society, the Khajiit are led in their beliefs. by mysterious figures known as clan mothers, whose duty it is to disseminate the cultural myths among their kind. Okay, sounds good. Undertake a pilgrimage. Gain 100 piety. Interesting that it calls it piety there instead of favor. There's a few little minor things like that all over the place. Basically, if they really wanted to make it perfect, and I'm not saying they have to, but every single trait or event that was in the vanilla game that references piety would have to be a chest, which is unfortunate. It might not even be possible to change it there, I'm not sure. We could try to make a friend, become king. That's a little bit ambitious, I think, for right now. We're kind of a crappy character. How about we just try to get married? It's a good place to start. So, we can marry a countess. That sounds pretty good. Where do you live, woman? She has a county down there. Well, we could do that, and then our children would have some land there. We could try to expand into that one as well. Or we can marry into this countess, who has land right next to us. It's not within our de jure duchy, but it is the one right next door. I'd say she's probably better, just based on that fact alone. Although this one I kind of like her stats a little bit better. But I will probably take the one that's right next to us. Apparently this one is attractive. This 10-year-old kitten. It's very pretty. So we'll take that one. Sign us up. Close the spellbook. Okay. So let's see, what else is different? I know for a fact as well that they've made a big change to like some of those spells. Remember when we played in the Alinor thing? Being able to cast the spell that gave us money directly? Transmute. Make tribute to the main. Has personal wealth. The Arc Cannon receives your tribute. That seems reasonable. Let's do it. Why do we only have one domain limit? With Gavelkind succession of all things. Are we just like a complete imbecile? Where's our wife? We need a wife. Let's speed the game up. I'm married. Wonderful. We'll take the prestige, I think. I now have the Shadow birth sign. If you're unfamiliar, at the beginning of the game, every character on the map has an event that fires that gives them their birth sign. After that initial event, you get a birth sign based on the actual month that you're born, which is pretty cool. So we get the Shadow birth sign, which makes us what? +1 intrigue, +1 learning. Okay. Hopefully that raises our domain limit. It did slightly, but not by much. Can we perhaps improve our intrigue? Sorry, our stewardship, so that we can hold on to that third title? I'd hate to give it up. See a spouse, become counselor. Can we go on a pilgrimage right now? It might make sense to do that. This is a new button. Make yourself unavailable to be hired by your liege. This is perfect for those who would rather stay at home without constantly getting asked by their liege to occupy a job. Hey, I don't want to sound like I'm more influential or something than I really am. So if I'm attributing myself to things that weren't related to me at all, I apologize. But I remember distinctly complaining about like playing as Fredegar and be like, no, I will not be your mage. No, that was not in Fredegar. I will not be your marshal. Or in the Alinor playthrough, saying things like, we will not be your mage. Like, that's pretty cool. So if you'd rather stay at home without getting asked by the liege to occupy a job, it also removes the ability of your liege to recruit you to lead armies. That is huge. It restricts your ability to lead armies until it is rescinded. So apparently you can't even lead your own troops. But let's click it just to experiment. Oh wow, that is so beautifully done. Look at that. Whoever did that, you are epic. It just seamlessly transitions. I love it. So refuse liege requests. Okay. Display the Dragonborn, there are none. Convert to Liege's culture. Apparently we are not the same culture as him. There are no prisoner decisions. You know what? Just a minor complaint. Or not a complaint even, but just a suggestion. And I would heavily encourage anyone watching this video series about the beta build, critique it as much as you can. As much feedback in the comment section as you can. If you notice something that I missed, mention it, because we're gonna talk. I'm gonna read the comments, and I know that some of the people that are building this mod are watching these videos, and we will hopefully together make the mod better. So here's a minor thing. Just as an idea. You know how sometimes you have events on here, like, say, the Grand Hunt, and you can't click it unless it's within a certain month? Perhaps it would make sense that the Prisoner Decisions menu is not available as a clickable option if you have no prisoners. Just as an idea. Because it's one of those things that it's like, oh, Prisoner Decisions, what's in there? Nothing. I don't have any prisoners. Ah, duh, obviously. Minor details. But anyway, minor title decisions. We do want to do the minor title auto-assign. I think that thing was one of the best additions to the game. And other than that, I think we're good. We can plot to do stuff. We can kidnap apparently lots of people. We can't plot to murder anyone except for our wife, but we can plot to kidnap people. Your Night Strider. I have no idea what a Night Strider is. Why would we want to kidnap that person? Why are they in this list? Just as another idea, since it kind of makes sense as well. Why not make this bigger? You know, like, I understand. Oh, hey, look at that. There's only 5 advisors now instead of 6. Looks like they went back down to 5 instead of having that 6th one. Consult the grimoires. Wow! Holy crap! Look at that thing. That really makes the mages better. So your Mobod will be dispatched to your capital to consult their grimoires. For non-spellcasting classes, this will unlock the spellbook and grant access to a limited array of spells. Your Magicka will be determined by your learning. Notice the emphasis on your. So they're talking about your personal learning, not your state learning. That's really cool. And if you are an actual spellcaster then, which apparently we are, being a detached priest, we're somewhat of a spellcaster. Although, what was that description? What did that say? Displays no talent beyond basic literacy. Anyway, it gives us access to more military technology, extra mages, cool stuff like that. Improve magical relations. Basically just make priests like you better. Research cultural tech. So you can get cultural tech from here or from here. This one's more focused. And you also have the possibility of that heretical find, which is the ability to flip to a heresy. Proselytize, try to convert your counties. Makes sense. Root out the cabals. Never really seen this do much, in my experience at least. You know, like, every now and then I'll get an event that pops up, says, oh, there's the cabals, and I just ignore it. And it never seems to do anything or matter in any way. Study technology, that's fine. Feels like Build Spy Network got kind of neutered compared to vanilla. Doesn't really do much anymore. Scheming is usually the one that you're going to do. Survey Province. I wish there was a way to make this tooltip better. You know, like, I know that it has to kind of follow that same formula of possible outcomes. But, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that tooltip. Oversee construction, we've seen that before. Collect taxes, we've seen before. Rally rebels, we've seen before, but never really used. We should try using that this time. Research military tech. Military theory, I don't recognize that. Train troops. Everyone knows what that does. Enforce martial law. Okay. Colonize province. This is new. Colonize the selected province, effectively converting its culture to your own. This can only be successfully used against provinces that are not your own culture group, and will not have any success if the chancellor is not the same culture as the ruler. Wow. Cultural enclaves established, or province culture converted. Well, we definitely need to convert some other people then. Okay, fabricate claims, we know what that does, and improve diplomatic, we know what that does, okay. Anyway, back to what we were doing. I completely forgot what I was talking about before all that. It was something. Oh, right, but yes, anyway, expand this. You know, like look at this big, huge list of things, and it's only going to get bigger. Why not make it go down to there? Make it all the way down to there. That'd be kind of cool. It's a big, huge list of them. Like, part of the idea, part of the constraints within the actual CK2 engine is that the Paradox developers had to make it so that this window looks good when you're playing at a smaller resolution and it ends up taking up half of the screen. But even on that low resolution, if you modified it within this thing here and made it just take up this whole box, it would work perfectly with the regular Paradox settings. If it were me, in our Paradox, I would try to design the game to run at least, I don't know, 720p, not anything smaller. But, not everyone has a big monitor, I guess. Anyway, so we haven't let really any time go except for enough to get married. Let's set our council about. So we're going to survey province. Do we have any that have more than one holding? No, we don't. Do we have any that make more money than others? No, we don't. We do have one province, our capital, that has slightly more troops. Apparently that's 5%, most likely. So we're going to train troops there. We're going to survey province there. We're going to probably study technology. No one has technology yet. Let's just scheme in the capital. Consult the grimoires. We get some mages. Hopefully those mages... Hey, that's kind of cool. Do the mages get modified by the trained troops? Looks like they do. 21 turns into 30. Awesome. Interesting as well that we instantly got 30. Like we didn't have to wait for them to reinforce. No, we did. Okay, 0 out of 30. Okay. And these are all our culture, yes? Anaquinen. Of course they are. Let's improve diplomatic relations with our liege and see where we go from there. So, okay. Let's play on speed 3 or 4. We're just trying to get our domain limit up. We don't have any vassals, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But because we're over the limit, we're going to take a 25% penalty to our income. The Main has accepted our tribute and offered us his blessing. So we gain the blessing of the Main, monthly prestige plus 0.1 and monthly favor plus 0.1. And we also gain 25 piety. This is another example of a tooltip that makes no sense to me. On the one hand it says monthly character favor, but then it also says plus 25 piety. So, you know, continuity would be nice. So when can we cast spells? Oh yes, we can cast spells. So yes, we have one Magicka. Awesome! You know what's amazing? Before I recorded this video, like just literally one day ago, I had mentioned in a Skype chat with some of the guys that were working on the mod that it would be nice if the tooltip was more specific, because it doesn't make a lot of sense, doesn't explain how it works, and bam! Just like that, one day later, there's a really improved tooltip. So I just can't, I am so impressed by these guys, how hard they work. So Magicka is raw magical energy which can be accessed by many scholars on Mundus. A character can store up to 2 points of Magicka per point of personal learning, with a maximum of 60 at learning 30. Expended Magicka regenerates at 1 point per year, which increases by 1 for every 5 points of learning to a maximum of 10 Magicka a year at learning 45. That's really clever. So the cap to your Magicka is hit at level 30, but there's still a benefit all the way up to learning 45, which would just be stupendously hard to accomplish. So I like that there's no real true upper bound to the learning curve. Ha! The learning curve, that's funny. So in our case then, so we have 4 personal learning, so we could have at most 8 Magicka, if I'm reading this correctly. Just making sure, I'm not crazy, right? 4 times 2 is 8, yes, okay, good. And so we're going to gain 1 per year, which increases by 1 for every 5 points of learning. So does that mean that I start with a base of 1, and since I'm less than 5, I only get 1? Or is it like a fraction of it? I don't know. But we have 1 Magicka, so we can do a spell. Dispel Magic. Remove all spells on a person or province. So the way this works is you click on it, and then you can specify like whether you want to target it on yourself or on somebody else. And then Fortify Health, you click it. It doesn't fire right away. It says, do you want to cast a lesser version of the spell, a moderate version, or, and I actually haven't experienced this yet, but there's an option for like a really serious version of the spell, which takes even more Magicka. So I can't even really do the upper levels. I only have 1 Magicka. I can do the minor one. Let's Fortify Fertility. Why not? We have no air. So we'll fortify it here. We do that, and within a day or so, there we go. We have Fortify Fertility, Fertility plus 10%, expires 18 Sun's Dawn 3375, so it's a 5-year-long spell. So for 1 Magicka, we gain 10 Fertility for 5 years. Cool. Alright, well this is, I think, a good place to take a break. Not much has really been accomplished quite yet, but I am very excited to start playing these beta builds, and hopefully the mod continues to develop over time, and we can continue to be very excited to play it. Alright, so I'm going to take a break here. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you again soon.